Hello, everyone. My name is Happiness Bozo. I met Tunde at work. When I started working at WCB, Tunde was away. I think he was away on leave. He was recovering. And so by the time he had returned, we were done training. And I'd say I'm really glad our paths crossed. He's one of the beautiful people I met at WCB at work. Tunde is, I like to say he's a human being because he's very human. He has a very large heart. You know, when Oga Wilfred was speaking, it's like, I don't know how you can be going through so much and still be smiling. So that's Tunde. He's always wanting to know how you're doing and how he can support you and how he can be there for you. And it was always intriguing for me because I see that he's struggling. I know he's struggling and he's always reaching out. I know, like one of the days we got talking and then we realized that we live 2 minutes away from each other. He was like, "You're my neighbor." I was like, "Yeah." So we got talking and I realized he loves oha soup. It's one of the soups back home, Igbo soup. So I was like, "Okay, I'm Igbo, I'm going to make oha." I was like, you're not serious, Happiness. So one day I made oha. I didn't tell him I was going to come visit him. So I just showed up. I called, I was like, "Are you home?" He's like, "Yeah." And then I gave him a bowl of oha. He was just like a child that
Can do.
he was very happy, you know. He's like, "Happiness, you made oha, you don't know what you've done." And it gave me so much joy. And so when I was leaving work, I was moving to a different organization. I told him he was happy, he was sad at the same time. It's like, "I'm going to miss you." And we have this other colleague, Jimmy. She's also at WCB, so we ride together to work. So Jimmy was like, "Oh, Happy, what do I do now? You're leaving." And then I was like, "Guess what? Tunde is here. He lives in Rosewood too." She was like, "Really?" That was it. Tunde just took her on. He would he would drive her to, he would bring her back every day. And the days he could not, somehow they'll figure it out. So when I heard about his passing, I called Jumi. She's like, "No, Happy, just leave me alone. You don't want to know how I'm feeling right now." I was like, "I know." So, Bisola and everyone, I want you to know that your brother was a great human being and he touched a lot of lives and he's in a better place. He's still smiling. And I want to remember him with all of that goodness in his heart and all of the smiles on his face. And thank Mommy for giving us Tunde, even though it was brief. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and good day to everyone online. Okay, so I was really contemplating whether I should come out to speak or not. But I'll just share my little, just a brief memory of him. I call him Bro today, and I call his sister Mama B. So if you see me refer to Mama B, I mean her, and then Bro today, of course, is him. So I have the privilege to meet him through Mama B, and to be honest, it was like he is a very lovely human being. Like when I got to know he was Mama B's elder brother, I was shocked. Because I'm like, "You are that old?" Yeah, really. Because he was like, he would relate with everyone, like friends, regardless of how. Sorry, sorry, just so you don't want people here. Alright, so we relate with everyone as friends, regardless of how young or how old they are, But he's a very precious person. I think there was one time we went to Pike Lake together. He was there with us, and it was so lovely. He just sat there. He would not say a lot, just very gentle. And then when he smiles fully. When he laughs, when you talk to him, you see how full of faith he is, and a very good believer. I'll just give a lot of encounters and experiences I had with him. But I think one very profound one I would like to talk about was I actually didn't know he had passed.
Bluetooth.
But then I was driving, I think that was the last memory I had of him. And I was driving from 613 Central Avenue, that's my daughter's daycare. And I was driving home, and then my daughter was in the car, and then I usually pick someone. And then that was on the 2nd of April, that was the day it passed. And I was driving home, and while driving along Central Avenue, trying to join the express towards college, I think, I saw him. And then I saw him with a blue jacket. It's more like you can zip it up. And then it was like the jacket, and then he wore a trouser, and then he was jogging and smiling. And then I looked, I'm like, is that my bro today? And then he was really smiling and jogging, and then he looked at me, and then I looked at him, and I was like, I was driving, of course. So I was like, is that my bro today? And I was like, has he passed? And then that was it. And then it was just gone. But then the smile I saw on his face was incredible. But then it was very noteworthy because the part of the road I saw him drive, I was driving, the part of the road I saw him jogging was the part that no one really, it was the right-hand side. So no one really jogs around that side. So I was like, why someone, that was even the first thing that made me look towards the direction. I was like, why is someone jogging there? And then I looked and I'm like, that's Bro Tunde, like, why is he just, so I knew he passed from that encounter. And then after I saw him, I just smiled, I knew what happened. And then I was like, don't worry, we'll see at resurrection. And that was, I think, 5:20 when I came to the house, because Mama B told me and everything. And then I came to the house and I told him. And I told her, and I was like, I saw him around 5:20. And I was like, when did he pass? And then he said, it was around that time. And I was like, of course I knew. That was exactly the time, So, but then the smile on his face, I shared with Mama B and I shared with the family, was something, each time I think about him, I look at his pictures. I was only able to post today because of how, the memory, everything just kept coming to my mind. But he's a very lovely person, and he taught me things I would not be able to share by his life, that I would forever hold on to. I celebrate, I know here we are here for the memorial service, but it's also a celebration of his life. Much more than anything, I celebrate a life well spent, a life of faith, and then he held on to the faith till the end. And I call him a legend, and I think that's really what he is. So thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone.